down.
No.
We're going to go through. I'll just talk a little bit for the group about the award. So congratulations being this month's Daisy winner.
Thank you.
So just to read a few things here. So Daisy, which stands for Diseases Attacking the Immune System. This was in memorial of Patrick Barnes. He was 33, he was hospitalized, spent a couple months in the hospital, and really appreciated the care that the nurses provided. Not just the technical skill, but really how they interacted with the patient and his family. And so after he passed away, his family put the Daisy Foundation together as a way to recognize and support nurses and then the teams related. So I just like this one. I just want to describe Patrick, because I really like this description of him. So his memory. But everyone who met Patrick, even once, was touched by his positive spirit and sense of humor. Twice a survivor of Hodgkin's disease, Pat was driven by a desire to befriend others and help them in any way he could. His legacy is clear. Whenever he came across anyone in need, he never turned his back. He reached out to comfort, to make them feel okay. Pat was a natural mentor, sharing his phenomenally positive outlook on life with a wide network of friends and family around the country with whom he stayed in constant contact. So the Daisy Foundation was established to keep his very special spirit alive. So congratulations on this month's recipient.
So a little bio on Katie. She graduated from Mount Mercy in 2015.
Co-college.
Best mentor ever. And immediately came to work on Old 7 Carver South on VMT. She's been with the team ever since. She's been actively engaged through achieving her VMT certification in 2019, precepting students, precepting new hires, been charge nurse, Skin Committee, Skin Star, Sunshine Fund leader, the scheduling committee, and earning her PRP twice. She's currently enrolled in DNP school and graduates, no pressure, but supposed to be 2024?
2023 in the summer.
All right.
Hopefully.
One of Katie's peers summarized her really well. They said, Katie carries herself very professionally and is able to articulate concerns in a very constructive and straightforward manner. She's timely, reliable, responsible, honest, and caring. She truly cares about the whole picture for the patient and isn't afraid to do what needs to be done for them, no matter how hard or difficult it is. And I think this nomination also reflects that so beautifully. And here are some tissues for you might need.
So I'm going to read the nomination.
Okay.
It was written by Teresa Gustafson.
Yeah.
So she writes, I'm not even sure where to start with explaining what Katie and the care she gave means to me. I was a patient on 3-JCP for several weeks on multiple occasions. Being diagnosed and treated for leukemia was overwhelming to say the least. One of the first things that stood out to me about Katie was the way she clearly explained things, whether I had questions or not. She could anticipate the things that I might not know or understand and would give me the small nuggets of information at a time. Always just the right amount so I could understand it and retain it. She was so incredibly knowledgeable, and she was also incredibly kind and compassionate. I would always get excited when I would hear she was going to be my nurse for the day. When I decided I was tired of my hair falling out and it was time for it to go, she told me I deserved a party. So she played music for me and we jammed out while she shaved my head and trimmed my fingernails. Every time she was my nurse, and even when she was working, but I wasn't her patient, she would carve out time in her day to come and sit down with me and just chat. She listened to me vent, tell 1,000 stories about my kids, and cry if I needed to. My vision was impaired from the leukemia, so she would read my messages and cards to me and help me with my phone or whatever else I needed. She would tell me stories and share about her life as well. She understood that since I couldn't have many visitors, I needed that extra support and attention, and she was willing to go above and beyond to help fill that void for me. When my husband was able to visit a couple of times, she made sure to come and meet him and say hello because she knew that that was important to me. With her kindness and huge heart, Katie made a lot of hard days in the hospital a whole lot better. She not only cared for my body, she cared for my soul, and I will never forget that.
So that's awesome, Katie. So do you like being the center of attention?
No!
Most people don't.
This is your moment,
right? So we've got nicely on the table a lot of things to present to you. Okay, so first of all, you have a certificate from the Daisy Foundation, right? So this will be yours to keep. So it says, this Daisy Award for Extraordinary Nurses is presented to Katie in deep appreciation for all you do, who you are, and the incredibly meaningful difference you make in the lives of so many people.
Thank you.
You are welcome. And there's more.
A lot more.
So one of the things here is the Daisy pin that you received, right? And so when Patrick was in the hospital, his stepmom and father noticed that nurses wear a lot of pins, right? You can see some around the room. And so what they did was create a Daisy award pin just for Daisy recipients. And so their wish is that you wear that proudly and you can decide where it goes, and you've already got some other daisies on here. So you'll have to add that to your collection there. All right, now you might want to either put, yeah, there you go. This is amazing, and you don't want to drop this. There you go. So this is the Healer's Touch sculpture. So I have a story to read to you about that so everybody can understand the history of it. So this is called the Healer's Touch. What a perfect representation of the bond between nurses and their patients. These sculptures are hand carved by artists in Zimbabwe, and each piece is signed by one of the many Shona artists that the Daisy Foundation supports, and they usually sign it around the base. There you go, right there. And so as you may know, the economy of Zimbabwe has been in turmoil for decades, and the artists are able to support hundreds of people and their families, you know, in the work that they do with these sculptures. So the Daisy Foundation encourages everybody to go to the daisyfoundation.org website, and there's a video on there that you can see about the artist, and they talk about and show how they create those. And so Bonnie, the stepmother of Patrick, often says that nurses are reaching out around the world and impacting the lives of these very special artists, and the artists are filled with gratitude to nurses for this work. So I think one of the amazing things about this is there's like that great story behind the statue. So every time you look at it, you can think of that and think about the bond you have, obviously, with that particular patient. So I'm not going to make you hold this, but this is your very own gift bag. And there's some material in there that talks about certifications, which you already heard are certified, and other things about advancing in your education, which are already on that path. You're way ahead of what's in the bag. All right, so the cinnamon rolls come next, so I'm not going to have you hold those.
Okay.
And by the way, these are yours
Thank
for you to
you.
keep as well, and we'll get those in a picture with you in a few minutes. All right, so the cinnamon rolls tend to be a lot of people's favorite part of the presentation, right? And so we're going to talk about why we have cinnamon rolls at every Daisy presentation. So there are 3 reasons why we ask that cinnamon rolls are served at all of our Daisy Award presentations. So first, when Pat was ill and has lost his appetite, he asked for a bite of a cinnamon roll that I had brought him one morning for my breakfast. Now this letter is from his father, Pat. And so Pat, the son, ate the whole thing. And they gave the father mixed emotions. So he was happy that his son finally ate something. He was disappointed that he ate his cinnamon roll. And so he says, that night, when Bonnie and I were leaving the hospital, Pat asked that we bring him a cinnamon roll for the next day. And to be sure to bring in enough for all the nurses in the unit. Those cinnamon rolls were Pat's thank you to his nurses, and the Daisy Foundation wants all nurses to share in this treat as a gift of gratitude to all of you. Now, the second reason is that nursing is a real team sport, and that's evidence to all of the people that came to be here a part of this with you. So, they state that they've never seen better teamwork than what they see among all nurses. And the cinnamon rolls are to celebrate your team, Katie, and to give all of you an opportunity to stop for just a few minutes and share something special together. And so finally, almost without exception, when the nurse receives a Daisy Award, the humble response is, I didn't do anything special, I was just doing my job. And I bet you would say the same thing. What the Daisy nurse may not realize, though, is that when nurses are just doing their jobs, they have such an important and meaningful impact on the lives of so many people, many more even than just their patients. And it's very clear from what Emily read that you had a huge impact on this patient and her family as well. So that's why we ask that cinnamon rolls are presented for every presentation. We ask that whenever you smell a cinnamon roll, whenever you taste one, whenever you think of one, or if you're at home and you're baking with cinnamon. So please remind yourself, all of you, how very special you are. Whenever you are just doing your job and not doing anything special, you are making a positive difference in a patient and their family's life. You are making the world a very special place. And you, Katie, are very special. You are a nurse. And we at the Daisy Foundation salute and honor you. So please enjoy the cinnamon rolls as Pat's gift and everlasting thank you for being a nurse. You are truly very, very special people, every single one of you. And so we want to thank the patient that was kind enough to write that note and recognize you. And you know, these are blinded and reviewed by a whole group of people, and they just felt overwhelmingly that you should receive the award this month. So we want to first of all congratulate you. And that is not even center retention was not enough. You get to have your picture made with a variety of different people in front of the banner. And the banner will stay here on the unit, like for the next month, to recognize you, so that everybody knows that you won this award.
Thank you very much.
You are so welcome. Is there anything you want to say to the group?
This patient was so remarkable. So I obviously developed a relationship with her, but she came to us and was newly blind and also had a child that was less than a year old during COVID and could not see any of her family. So she deserves nothing. And now she can see. So she's made it through her diagnosis and she's doing very well. And now she's had multiple surgeries and she can see again and is at home with her 2 babies and husband. So she's remarkable.
That's awesome. Well, she says you're remarkable too.